All right, let's talk about a shift in finance that isn't just on the horizon, it's already here. We're on the edge of a revolution that's not just tweaking the rules, it's completely rewriting them. This is the story of how real-world assets are being supercharged by AI, and it's happening a whole lot faster than you might think.
So, just how big is this revolution? Well, the numbers, they're not just telling a story, they're practically shouting it. This isn't some tiny niche experiment anymore. This is a tidal wave hitting the mainstream, reshaping the very foundations of our financial world.
Let's start with the number that really changes the game. $24 billion. In 2025, the market for tokenized real-world assets didn't just hit a milestone, it absolutely smashed through it.
But it's not just the size of the market that's staggering, it's the speed. A five-fold explosion in just 3 years? That's not just hype. That's a tectonic shift, and it's being driven by some of the biggest players in finance. Yep, 2025. You can mark that down as the year tokenization officially graduated. It went from being this kind of crazy idea cooked up in a lab to a genuine cornerstone of modern finance.
So what's fueling this incredible fire? It's really a perfect storm of three things: smarter regulations, technology that's finally powerful enough, and, crucially, a full-throated endorsement from the financial giants. All three coming together are redefining what value even means.
The numbers are seriously impressive, but honestly, they're just the beginning. The real magic of tokenization is what it unlocks. So, let's pull back the curtain and see why turning a physical asset into a little digital token is such a revolutionary act. Have you ever dreamed of owning a piece of a skyscraper or a world-famous painting? With fractional ownership, that dream is suddenly a reality. Tokenization essentially carves up these massive, high-value assets into bite-sized pieces. You don't have to be a billionaire to start investing like one.
And how about this? Say goodbye to the old 9-to-5 grind of traditional markets. With 24/7 settlement, your money literally never sleeps. Transactions are instant, they're final, and they happen on your schedule, not Wall Street's.
You know the old saying, location, location, location? Well, not so much anymore. Global access means an investor in Singapore can buy a piece of a New York property just as easily as a local. It truly creates a borderless world of opportunity.
And finally, maybe the biggest piece of all, the ultimate trust machine. We're talking about transparency. Every single transaction is etched into a digital ledger that can't be changed. It's a level of honesty and accountability that's just, well, it's impossible in the old system.
So you put it all together, what do you get? It's not just a better system, it's a financial revolution. We are talking about markets that are smarter, fairer, and a whole lot stronger than anything we have ever seen before.
But this story isn't just about a brand new technology. It's really a story of evolution. To truly understand the power of these new AI-powered assets, we need to kind of take a step back and see how we even got to this point.
It really started with what we call RWA 1.0. That was the pilot phase. The early days where pioneers were just trying to prove the tech worked. Then came 2.0, the institutional era. That's when Wall Street woke up and started building compliant, standardized systems. And that leads us to right now, RWA 3.0, the AI native generation, where intelligence isn't just a feature, it's the entire foundation.
So what does RWA 3.0 really mean? What makes an asset AI native? This is where we make the leap from just static digitization to truly dynamic, intelligent asset management.
Okay, so at its heart, RWA 3.0 has 4 pillars of power. First, AI native valuation. Think of it like having a crystal ball that gives you the true price of an asset in real time. Second is regulatory alignment, where the rules are literally baked right into the code, making compliance automatic. Third, interoperability, which just means your assets can move freely between different blockchains. And fourth, dynamic risk scoring, a super smart AI that is constantly watching your back, sniffing out danger before it strikes.
To see what this actually looks like in the real world, just take a tokenized private credit fund. The impact is just astonishing. We're talking about a fund that reacts to risk in mere hours, not months. It protects investor money way more effectively and runs on a tiny fraction of the usual overhead.
So how does this work in practice? Well, imagine a world where an AI is basically your financial superhero. Instead of a whole army of analysts, you have a single, super intelligent system that's constantly monitoring the health of your investments. It can see trouble coming from a mile away and warns you long before it's too late. It makes finance proactive, not reactive.
Now, as exciting as all this is, let's be realistic. The road to mass adoption isn't going to be perfectly smooth. There are still some challenges to sort out, and overcoming them is going to require a big, coordinated effort from everyone involved.
The first big hurdle is liquidity. For many of these new tokenized assets, the secondary markets are still a bit thin. All that means is it can be hard to find a buyer right when you want to sell, which makes figuring out a fair price and cashing out a real concern for investors.
And the second major challenge is AI governance. I mean, who's responsible when an AI valuation model makes a mistake that costs investors money? Figuring out clear lines of accountability for these complex AI systems is one of the biggest questions we need to answer.
So, the path forward is pretty clear, even if it's not easy. We need harmonized legal frameworks. We need common technical standards so all these assets can move around seamlessly. And we need robust auditing frameworks so we can actually trust the AI's decisions. But if we get this right, the next 5 years will be completely transformative. By 2026, tokenized treasuries could become the standard on-chain collateral. By 2028, tokenized real estate and credit funds could be as liquid and easy to trade as stocks. And by 2030, these intelligent assets could easily make up over 5% of all institutional portfolios.
So, what's the bottom line here? RWA 3.0 isn't just some new chapter in finance. It's a whole new book. We're essentially giving our money a brain, and the consequences of that are going to be staggering. The only question left is, are you ready for the ride? Because this isn't just about redesigning trust, value, and opportunity. It's about building a financial future that is smarter, fairer, and more powerful than anything we've ever dared to imagine.